So, good morning, everybody. Today we are here again. That is Wednesday, May 26, 2021, for the class of Marketing Management for Master in Business Administration. Second semester students, Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, Language University, Lucknow. Right. And the topic that we were doing yesterday was segmentation. And in segmentation, we were doing about the major basis for segmentation. And among those, we have discussed the five, and the fifth was the value-based segmentation. Now, today we will be moving further with that topic, and we will be doing the next form of the next segmentation. And what is that segmentation? We will be doing this value-based segmentation. We have done with value-based segmentation, the benefits of value-based segmentation, right? We have done the limitations of the value-based segmentation. Today we will be doing volume segmentation. All right. So let's understand volume segmentation, right? Consumers here are classified as light, medium, and heavy users, as I told you yesterday. They are either light users of a product, they are medium users of a product, or they are heavy users of a product. In certain cases, 80% of the product may be sold to only 20% of the consumer. It happens most of the time that 20% of the consumers consume 80% of the product, and 20% of the product is consumed by 80% of the people, right? It happens. Now, marketers here can decide the product features and advertising strategies by finding common characteristics among heavy users. Here, the marketing of the product and the advertising of the product is based on heavy users, right? It is an obvious thing. It is a psychological thing that definitely all the marketers will be concentrating only on the heavy users, while they will be concentrating on the heavy users because they are consuming the majority part of the product, right? So heavy users will be concentrated because they are consuming the larger quantity of product. So advertisements and commercials are usually targeted keeping in mind the heavy users customers, right? Now, for example, airlines having certain frequent flyers which are using airlines on a regular basis, right? So they are the consumers who are boarding the flight on a daily basis, and they are the people from whom the organization is earning the maximum amount of profit. So they should be the people on whom the organization should be having maximum amount of concentration, right? Now, moving further, marketers should pay attention to light users and even to the non-users. Marketers should not left behind the light users and the non-users. Our time may come when light users may become medium or heavy users, and non-user may become your users, right? So you should not be ignoring them. You should be taking them together, but obviously you should be concentrating more on those users which are heavy users of your product, right? The non-users consist of two types of people. Non-users, people who are not using your product, may be of two types. First, those who do not use the product, and those who might use it, right? Those who do not use the product, or non-users, can be of two types: those who might not use the product or those who might use it, right? Some may change over time from non-user to user. With the passage of time, some non-user may become the user of your product. Those who do not use your product because of ignorance may be provided information about your product and may turn into a user, right? Repetitive advertising here plays an important role in order to fight the psychological resistance of the consumer and convert him into the user of that particular product. This is how non-users can be converted into users of your product, right? These are some of the strategies. Now, seventh is your benefit segmentation, right? The main benefit that product is provided to the consumers can, right? Like high quality, low price, low taste, speed, sex appeals, etc. are some examples of benefits that a product can give to his customers, right? Here an example is also there. There are certain air travelers which prefer economic class, which is low price as compared to J class, uh, right, while others are aspiring for executive class because of luxury and their status, right? So both while they are traveling with the same aeroplane, and the comfort level and facilities are comparatively differ as compared to the J class and economy class, right? Then what will happen, what will be happening here, right? Different people are consuming the same product, but the features are different. Aircraft is the same aircraft they are traveling in, right? But the comfort, the kind of seat, the kind of hospitality, the kind of stuff they are provided with during the flight will be different. So there are different benefits that a person is deriving out from the same product. Product is here the aeroplane is the same, but you are traveling in economic class, I am traveling in the J class, or you are traveling in the J class or the executive class, I am traveling in the economic class. We both are using the same product, but the benefit that we are driving out of it is different. You are cost conscious, that is the reason you have taken the ticket of economic class. I am a person, because I am very much concerned about my status, that what people will say if they will see me traveling in the economic class. So that is the reason I am traveling in the J class, right? Some consumers of toothpaste give greater importance to freshness, while other prefer brightness of teeth, right? So there are certain people who are consuming the toothpaste because they want to have freshness. They do not want to have bad breath. Some people are consuming certain toothpaste because it is giving dental whitening, like Dant Kranti, right? आप दंत क्रांति से अपने if you will be using दंत क्रांति, you will be having the extremely white teeth, right? It is the USP of that particular product. Product is the same, right? But the benefit that you are driving out of the product is different. Some people is expecting, some people is searching for, or some people is aspiring whitening of teeth, and some people is aspiring for freshness, right? So this is how benefit segmentation goes. Now, consumer behavior depends upon the benefits of a product or a service than the demographic factor. Consumer behavior is more important, is more dependent on the benefit aspect of product or service rather than demographics, if we compare it with the demographics, right? Each and every market segment is identified on the basis of benefits that it is seeking out of a product or a service, right? Many of the buyers seek as many benefits from the product as they can, right? But the importance attached to individual benefit differs from one group to another group. One benefit may be more important to a particular group, it may be less important to some other group, right? Right. Now, requirements or criteria for effective segmentation. What are the requirements, or what are the criteria for effective segmentation? Let us understand the requirements or criteria for effective segmentation. Right. The first criteria is identifiable. Marketer manager should be able to identify the members of the segment. That is, he should be having some basis for classifying the individuals as being or not being the member of the segment. Marketing manager should be having a particular criteria on the basis of which he will be able to understand that whether the certain individual are a member or non-member of that particular segment, right? He should be able to identify them. There should be a clear distinction between segment, that this is one segment and this is another segment. Members of each segment should be identified by common characteristics which display similar behavior, because segments are always homogeneous, right? Like measurable and obtainable size, profile, and other relevant characteristics of the segment should be measurable in terms of numbers, right? If the information is not obtained, if the information is not obtainable, no segmentation can be carried out, right? Because if the information is not there, what is the point of doing the segmentation? For example, customers will be segmented on the basis of their lifestyle, right? Second, substantial. A segment should be large in order to be profitable in case of consumer market, because if segment will be small, then it will be difficult for making to make it profitable, right? Small segments are not as profitable as large segments, right? Moreover, it increase the cost, and that is the reason you will need to charge high price for your product in small segment in order to cover up the cost, because marketing your product in a small segment will involve greater cost. So you need to price your product at premium, like this may make that small segment non-profitable, because you will be paying high cost and you will be charging high price, and the customer will not be purchasing your product, or if he is purchasing your product, he will be purchasing your product in small quantities, right? Thus, for business market, a single customer, every single customer has its own value, because in a business market, earlier we were talking about the consumer market, but in a business market, every consumer is valuable, because every consumer is purchasing very large quantity of product from you as a business market, because he will be using that product as a raw material in order to produce certain other product, right? For example, instruction of a ship size of the segment also depend upon the purchasing power of the target customers. Okay, because purchasing power of the target customer is the most important thing. The larger is the purchasing power, the larger chunk of product he can purchase, and the smaller is the purchasing power, vice versa, right? Like marketer of luxury of goods may appeal to small, but marketer of luxury goods may appeal to small but wealthy target market, right? Wealthy target market, small, the number of buyers are small, but they are wealthy, they are able to pay, they have deep pockets, their purchasing power is very high. Rather, they are small in number, they are only few in number, but they can pay for the products, right? But markets of cheap consumer goods, cheap consumption goods have to sell their products to large number of people who are having low purchasing power, because they are selling cheap quality product, they are selling low price product. So they need to identify people with low means, or people with a large number of people, and sell their product to them, because the product is priced low, and when they sell larger quantity of the product, then only they will be able to earn profit, because the price of the product is low, thus the profit is low. Here the idea is that enough potential buyers should exist to cover the cost of production and marketing required, and marketing costs, right? So here, what is the idea? The idea is that you should be having sufficient number of buyers to sell your product, because only then you will be able to earn profit, otherwise you will be subjected to losses, right? Now, fourth, accessibility. It should be possible to reach different segments in regard to both promotion and distribution, right? You should be able to reach the segment in case of promotion and distribution. Segment should be accessible, you should be able to reach to the segment. In case of promotion, when you are promoting your product, maybe through TV advertisement, maybe through mass media, maybe through print media, and also in terms of distribution, you should be able to supply your product to that particular location. If you are marketing your product to Antarctica, then it is of no sense. It is of no sense, because only a few number of customers are there. Moreover, the distribution cost will be very high. You have to cross the entire globe to market your product to Antarctica, right? And with a few number of customers, so you can never it is even foolishness to think of profit marketing your product at Antarctica, where no customer exists. So you need to find it out that whether the segment is accessible or not, in terms of promotion and distribution, right? Organization must be able to focus its marketing efforts on the chosen segments, right? Organization should be able to focus its marketing efforts on the chosen segment. Chosen segment should be in reach of organization, so that it may be able to focus its marketing effort on that particular segment, right? Segment should be accessible by the organization. In any case, the firms should be able to make the segment aware about the products and services that the firm is marketing. Secondly, firm should get these product and services to the customers through distribution, and the cost of distribution should be such that can easily be borne by the customers, right? Next, fifth, responsiveness. Right? Responsiveness is the another criteria. Segment must react to changes in any element of the marketing mix. Segment should react to the elements of the marketing mix. Example, if a particular segment is defined as being cost conscious, it should react negatively to price rises. Meaning hereby, if you have identified a segment as price conscious, then when you raise the price of your product in that particular segment, that segment should react, right? Only then it will prove that yes, it is a price sensitive segment, right? If it do not react, it indicates that the segment need to be redefined. If it do not react to price rise, then you should rethink about it, because that segment need to be redesigned. If you have expected that segment to be price sensitive and it is not reacting to the price rise, then you have not clearly defined the segment. You need to understand that segment again, and you have to understand that segment again, because if you will not understand that segment, it may be dangerous for you, because your expectation from the segment may be something different and the segment may be performing in a different manner, right? Now, sixth, actionable. Actionable, it is the sixth criteria of effective segmentation, right? Segment should be actionable in the sense that there should be sufficient finance, personnel, and capabilities in the organization to handle that segment. Therefore, depending upon the reach of the company, the segment should be selected. Okay, segment should only be selected which you can cater. You should be having proper amount of resources in order to handle or cater to that particular segment, right? Segment should also be having growth potential, profitability, and should not be carrying unusual risk for the organization. This is another most important thing that you should keep into mind while doing effective segmentation, right? So this is all about segmentation today, right? So we are finished with segmentation. Now let's start with the next topic. And the next topic is your target market. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now we will be doing target marketing. So as we have already discussed that this is a STP models: segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So we have discussed about segmentation. Now we will be discussing targeting, the concept of targeting, right? How to identify a target market, right? Let's understand it. Market targeting is a process in which we evaluate the market segment's attractiveness and select one or more segment in order to market our products and services to that particular segment, right? Targeting is a process which is not relevant to firm producing for mass market, because here customers are not classified in any segment and the entire population is considered to be a single segment, right? The entire market is considered to be one, right? What it means? It means that market targeting is a process with the help of which we choose either one or more than one segment as our target segment and market our product, promote our product, distribute our product in that particular segment. But this target market concept of target market is useless for those firms who are under undifferentiated marketing or mass marketing, because for them there is no segmentation. They consider the entire world as a single segment, as a homogeneous segment, and they manufacture a single product and market that particular product across the globe, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, Thumbs Up, Sprite. They are marketing same product across the globe, right? They are not doing any kind of market segmentation or market targeting, right? Like another example is there, NCERT. NCERT is producing books for different subjects for mass marketing, right? NCERT books is not targeted for CBSE, ICSE, anybody. They are producing the books and they are marketing their books. Anybody can purchase their book. Even people who are doing preparation for civil services, they are also purchasing NCERT books and preparing for their examination. On the other hand, private publisher houses like Pearson, Tata McGraw-Hill, Blackwell, etc., they concentrate on target markets after deciding about the segments, right? But NCERT is doing mass marketing for it, for its books. Therefore private publishers have to concentrate it is therefore publisher have to concentrate on the market for novels, market for children books, and another for film magazines. Those publishers who are publishing novels, they have to concentrate on that segment where people are fond of reading novels. Those who are publishing children books, they should be concentrating on those segments of children's which prefer to have or which would like to have to read the children comics and all. And those publishers who are publishing film magazines, they need to concentrate on those segments as the target segments where customers are there who want to read film magazines, right? So this is how the target marketing goes, right? Now further, in evaluating the different segments of market, marketer should consider the following factors which you are able to see on your slide. Right, the first factor is size of the segment and growth prospect. The size of the segment and growth prospect. What is the size of the segment and what are the growth prospects which are available for the marketer in that particular segment? The larger is the segment, the larger is the growth prospect. Or in fact, the size of the it also depends upon whether the customers are willing to purchase your product. If the size of the segment is substantial, the growth potential will be higher. But if the size of the segment is big and customers have become disinterested, or they are no more interested in purchasing your product, and may not be having growth potential for you, right? The second point is attractiveness of the segment. How attractive the segment is for you, right? Are you able to find some potential users of the product in that segment which can be converted into users? Or have you located some those kind of people who are desperately waiting for your product? Or have you find out certain customers who want to purchase such a kind of product what you are marketing, right? So it determines the overall attractiveness of that segment for you, right? The third point is firm's objectives and resources. What are the objectives of the firm and what are the resources of the firms, right? Objectives of the firm, what are is the objective of the firm to expand your business and spread your business into different segments, or target more than one segment, or target as many segment as you can? What are the available resources of the fund? Are you having sufficient amount of budgets and funds in order to approach to the different segment? For because in order to enter into different segment, you need to market your product, you need to promote your product, you need to distribute your product, you need to advertise your product, and lot of cost is involved in all these activities, right? So these are certain important points that you need to think of while doing target marketing, right? Now, size of the segment. Size of the segment should be substantial to be profitable, right? For example, a private publisher may publish his books if the number of target customers is more than 500, right? And prospects of growth in the segment. Any publisher, any private publisher will be publishing the book if at least he is getting a minimum number of persons who will be purchasing, or if he is getting minimum number of 500 copies, then only he will be publishing a book. Otherwise he won't be doing that, right? Generally firms prefer to enter those business activities where there are growth potential. No firm wants to enter into any kind of business activity which is having low amount of growth potential, right? The target market should be attractive enough, right? A market is attractive when there are few competitors in the market and there are only few substitute. Few competitors means the competition will be less, few substitute means the consumer will not be having alternatives of your product. Further, after evaluating the target market, the firm should be considering its own objectives and resources, that whether it is having sufficient amount, whether its objectives and resources, what its objectives and resources want the firm to do, right? The firm must have adequate resources to enter into the target market and succeed in the long run, because entering into the target market and catering to that particular market involves a lot and lots of costs, as I said earlier: advertising cost, distribution cost, promotion cost, right? After sales service cost, and n number of things, right? Now, selection of target market segment. How will you be selecting the target market segment? How you will be selecting that, yes, this segment will be the target market segment for me, and I will be marketing my product in this particular segment. Our target market consists of a set of buyers with shared common needs and characteristics that a firm decides to serve. All right. A firm can target broadly, that is with undifferentiated marketing, or they may target very narrowly by doing undifferentiated marketing, or or they may be doing differentiated marketing or concentrated marketing, right? So there are three things, right? Firms can target very broadly undifferentiated marketing, right? And very narrowly, that is micro marketing, or in between, that is differentiated marketing or concentrated marketing, right? So three things, the firm is having three strategy: either to do undifferentiated marketing, or to do differentiated marketing, or to do micro marketing, right? The concept of market segmentation has identified three strategic options for marketing. As I said, concentrated marketing, differentiated marketing, and undifferentiated marketing, right? Right. So we will be discussing them in detail now, right? The first is your concentrated marketing or niche marketing. What is concentrated marketing and what is niche marketing? We have already learned about niche marketing while we were discussing about segmentation. We will be elaborating the same. It is concerned with focusing all available resources on the segments within the total market, right? It is an attempt, in which what the firm can do best with a market niche to prove. It is a strategy, which is risky, right? But it is a strategy which will make you to earn the amount of profit that you cannot even expect it, right? It is a strategy in which the firm can perform its level best. It is a strategy by which you can attain differential advantage. It meant at devising a marketing mix, a narrow product line with some unique competence, which is the USP for the firm, and which makes the firm to gain competitive advantage. Concentrated marketing takes a variety of forms, right? Like high fashion boutiques and design oriented house right? Now, concentrated marketing is followed by Ford, Rolls-Royce, Rolex watches, and glass manufacturing units, right? These are some of the organizations which have, or these are some of the organizations like Rolls-Royce, Ford, Rolex watches, glass manufacturing units. They have followed, concentrated on niche marketing, and have become very successful. Rolls-Royce is not selling its car to everybody. It is selling its car. It is selling and manufacturing its car to only a handful of people. They are doing niche marketing. They have created a niche, and they are producing their product for that particular niche only. Johnson and Johnson is marketing its product for babies, like baby talcum powder, baby oil, right? They are doing concentrated marketing. They have created a niche, and they are doing niche marketing only, right? The main advantage of concentrated on niche marketing is that organization can become specialist in the need of its chosen market segment. Okay, they can become a specialist in needs of a chosen market segment. Like Johnson and Johnson is pioneer, particularly in case of children product, right? It enables to save cost. It enables the organization to save cost through through small number of products and serving to a niche. Moreover, its distribution and advertising costs will also go down. Sorry. Further, this type of marketing, that is the concentrated marketing or niche marketing, results in a kind of monopoly position, right? Because you have become a product specialist. Highly satisfied customers develop a strong loyalty towards your products and your brand and your firm as a whole. It ensures continuous favor for the firm's new product in the chosen market niche. If your firm is introducing, you will be able to earn higher degree of brand loyalty from the customers, and whenever you will be floating any new product in the market in that particular niche, consumer will be purchasing your product at the earliest, right? Whenever you float a new product in the market, because you have created a niche and you have gained a higher degree of customer loyalty and confidence, right? किसी का ऑडियो अनम्यूट हो गया है, प्लीज उसको म्यूट कर लीजिए, बिकॉज आपके घर की आवाजें आ रही हैं. But here the main problem is, but in niche marketing, what is the main problem? Main problem is that it is a one basket strategy. One basket strategy means you are serving only to a particular niche, and this is a risky strategy too, right? This is a risky strategy too, because you are serving only to a small number of only to a small segment. Whenever the customer preferences evolve or customer preference change, it may become dangerous for you, because the customer may get shift to another product if you are not able to prove yourself up to your level of satisfaction, particularly in terms of their evolving perceptions or changing perceptions, right? And the opportunities and the growth opportunities for you in that segment will decrease. Further, if a company concentrates on one market segment and neglects other segments in the market, it may be risky and counterproductive in case for the company, because if that segment will turn sour, it will become difficult for you to sustain in the market, because how you will be able to earn how you will be able to earn profit if that segment will turn sour, because you are having your customers only in that particular segment. So this is a risky strategy. If demand or competition becomes adverse, you will be losing market share, and if the demand of your product falls and the
हेलो,
competition increases in that particular segment of your
अबे
in
तो
that
एक
particular
बार कॉल
niche,
करके फिर तुम कॉल नहीं
what
किया
will
यार,
be
50
happening?
मिनट
You
हो
will
गया
be
बात
losing
करने के
marketing
लिए।
share, and this loss in marketing share will result in
ऊपर से उसी सर की क्लास चल
tremendous
रही है, मैं
loss
कॉल नहीं
of
कर
your
सकता, किससे कॉल
profit.
करूँ? मम्मी बढ़ रही है, बाप भी
बेटा,
लिया
आप
बड़ा
में से
पुलिस।
किसी का ऑडियो ऑन
और
है,
क्या
उसके
दोस्त
घर से
जाते
आवाजें
हैं,
आ रही हैं, प्लीज अपना ऑडियो ऑफ करिए.
वही तो बकचोदी है। मोहम्मद
Second,
अरमान है सर।
differentiated marketing. It was concentrated marketing, now differentiated marketing. What is differentiated marketing? Let us understand. It attempt to
तो मैं
appeal the
डायरेक्ट ऑन करता
entire
और
market by
अनम्यूट कर दो, ठीक
designing
है?
different products and marketing programs
बेटा ऑन करके
for
मुझे
different
अनम्यूट
segments
करो
of the
ताकि
market.
मैसेज जाए तो पता चले।
Right? It is making different product
या
for
कॉल
different
करो।
marketing segments, and marketing its product and marketing its different product in different segments and pricing them accordingly. Right? By doing